Hello everybody, welcome back to another Expeditions Guide. Today we're taking a look at Iron Confidence. This is an expedition in the Dormant Volcano. To unlock this expedition, you do need to have completed hardware upgrade. We also are going to need a Seismic Vibrator and a portable Meteostation on a sideboard. So we have two vehicles. Right now we're in the KRS-58 Bandit, which we're going to use for the Seismic Vibration, which is the first step of this mission. I also have with me... over at the other outpost, the Step Crocodile, which I am going to use with the helicopter to bring it over to the truck when we get right about here. So what we have to do is go to this point right here for the seismic scan, the first one, and then we're going to follow this path up through the mountains, across the bay, over to the second waypoint, which is all the way up top here. After which we are then going to swap to the Crocodile, which we'll have over here at that point, and make our way over to the waypoint. So that's what we're going to be doing. Hope that made sense for you. So we're starting over here on the western outpost, just kind of making our way over to that first waypoint, and then up across and down. I kind of had it at a different angle there before, but yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to do is pull out of the outpost and make our way down to the lakeshore. And right here, you're going to get an error that says insufficient equipment. You can just go ahead and ignore that. It flags that because we don't have the equipment on this truck in particular, but we do have a truck with the equipment. So that is no stress, no worry. I also have with me anchors and jack screws on the Bandit and a set of anchors on the Crocodile as well, just in case we need them. So we're just going to take this narrow pass and just get all the way down onto the lakeshore here. We do have to be very careful. You have to be careful at all times with the Bandit. It is a tippier truck, but it is more than capable of doing what we need to do. In addition to that, if you are looking for the specifics on my vehicle configurations, you will find them in the video description below. So feel free to check that out. I've got all the information on what side equipment I have, as well as vehicle specs, including the engine and the transmission, as well as some other things that you might find useful. So I'd be sure to check that out if you're interested in what configuration I'm running these vehicles. Anyway, we're just going to keep making our way down the shoreline here. I know we're kind of driving in the dark right now. Hope you guys can see okay. Let me go ahead and swap that real quick. Yeah, let me go ahead and swap to morning. There we go. Now you guys can see a little bit better, especially for this water crossing here. So we're going to go kind of right in between these rocks here. Just going to go right across the middle. And we want to climb right up onto this rock, and then off to the left, keeping the tires on that rock. That is going to keep us stable so we can make the corner. And from here, we're just going to continue to follow the shoreline. This is definitely a fun expedition. Just having to get to these waypoints with the Seismic Vibrator. But what does make this tricky is you do have to hit the waypoints first and then deliver a cargo, which is why we're going to be using the helicopter to transport our Crocodile over. So we can just save a little bit of time doing that. Because you got to go like... I showed you on the map there. We're basically hitting a western point and an eastern point, and then we got to drop off the cargo in the middle. So, there's two ways you can do that. We're going to use the helicopter method, but you could also just tow a vehicle with a sideboard. You don't need anything super big. I'm using the Crocodile. You could just as easily use the Action or the Aphim or the Warthog to do that. Or if you wanted to just do it in one vehicle, you could always use the Thatcher Force as well, because it can do the Seismic Vibrator and also have the sideboard as well. So we're just going to go right up this hill. be right down here. Yep, there it is. Go ahead and start seismic vibration. Alright, with that out of the way, let me just show you where we're at. So we're going to proceed up through the hills and across and make our way over to that next waypoint. So we're just going to head right on down the shore here. And we're just going to keep chugging through the sandy water here. You can see it's not super deep as long as you just stay right on the shoreline. And the Bandit is more than powerful enough to get through any mud that you come across on the shoreline. It's not too bad. Crawl over that rock. But yeah, nothing too exciting here. We're just going to continue to follow the shoreline so we can make our way over to that next waypoint. This is where things are going to start getting tricky, though, because we're going to have to climb up and over this mountain. So we're going to head right in through this gap here. And just follow that right over. You might take a little bit of a beating on the truck. Just going to kind of squeeze right on through here and up the hill. And we're going to go right in between these trees here. We're going to go right up on top of this hill. Alright, so now what we're going to do is swap to the Crocodile. And I need to go right over here, and we're going to go to building modules, and we're going to buy the helipad. So once we have the helipad, we're going to activate it, hit teleport, and teleport to the Bandit. It's going to consume 30 liters of fuel. Well, that's new. Okay. So we got the we got the Crocodile over here. But yeah, that's why we bring anchors and jack screws. So we're just going to just do that and continue on our way. Let's go ahead and just patch up the motor a little bit. You know, I've used that helicopter so many times. That's the first time I've ever seen that. So, there you go. Live on the guide. A little bit of a little bug there. That's okay, though. I've probably used the helicopter module, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 times. That's the first time I've seen that, so that was exciting. Anyway, we're going to make our way up through the forest and head on down here. Get ourselves off this log and head right on down to the shoreline here. Kind of disoriented a little bit with that weird bug there. That's okay, you know. It was one of those. I have the jack screws, so it was kind of like it didn't throw my truck in the air. It flipped it over, but it was more of an annoyance than anything, and kind of funny. So, and yes, I did bring 2 sets of jack screws just because you never know. I would always recommend. So like, if you're using the Bandit, just because it is definitely one of the riskier vehicles to use, but it's really fun. I really like driving this truck. But it's definitely a risk versus reward vehicle. If you're not super confident with this vehicle, always bring extra jack screws or use the mechanic specialist that gives you 5 charges of a jack screw. That is also super useful. I brought the jack screws. I brought the extra jack screws as a little insurance policy for myself, because when I was testing this, I was having all kinds of issues. Just making some mistakes, flipping the truck over when I was testing it. But I think I've figured out where those trouble spots are, and I'm going to guide you kind of around those a lot better. So there's a chance I may not even need the extra jack screws, but we have them just in case. It's always better to have them, because if you run into a situation where your truck flips, or you get stuck somewhere, or something weird happens, like you try to use the helicopter and flips your truck over, right? It's always better to have that equipment, just kind of an insurance policy more than anything, just to make sure you can get your objectives finished up. So anyway, right up here, we're going to head on up. Nice and easy here. And we're just going to squeeze right on through these trees. Around this big rock. And right here you can see some rocks in front of us on this dip. We're going to use that as effectively a ramp to just go right on down the hill. And from here we're going to go around this high spot and just kind of stick to the swamp for a little bit. And this is actually a good spot to go ahead and top off our fuel, which is starting to run a little bit low. So we got all those extra fuel slots on the truck. So right here we need to kind of snake our way through these rocks. This is kind of a tricky part here. Nice and easy. Get that balance back. There we go. And from here, we're going to go right through the little canyon. Right up through the middle of it here. And we're just going to follow these rocks up and over the hill here. Just going to kind of weave around these big rocks. Make our way up over here. This is another tricky spot here. We want to kind of go pretty much just straight down it. You don't want to go down that at a side angle. That can cause some flipping issues. So we're just going to get right over that gap and up through these rocks here. Right up here, we want to stay to the right side of that rock there so you don't flip over. Just go right on through. And now we have this big hill climb. This is probably the hardest part because we got all these tree stumps and loose rocks and things like that that can cause you all kinds of trouble. So we're just going to go right over this stump. Kind of bottomed out on the stump there. That's alright. Just use the winch, kind of pull us up the hill a little bit. And we're just going to try to keep this truck as level as we can as we make our way up here. So right here we want to squeeze right in between that rock and the tree. That's going to get us all the way up on top of this hill. And once we get to the top of the hill, there it is. We can go ahead and start the seismic vibration. The truck started to roll away from us, but that's okay because we are done. Oh wait, no, it did not finish because the truck rolled away. Right, so yeah, make sure you throw the handbrake on. The truck rolled away on me. Alright, there we go. We are all done with the Bandit. you can put the Bandit away for now, and we're going to jump back into the Crocodile. So from here, we're just going to kind of follow this path up the hill and go ahead and install the Meteostation. It's right there. So we saved a ton of time by just bringing the Crocodile over here. So we're just going to go right on up the hill. And go right around these trees. It is kind of a sharp angle here, just to get this angle just right with that rock there. Well, once we get behind these trees, all we gotta do is just drive right on over to our installation point. Just kind of very carefully work your way over these rocks, over to that nice, wonderful blue square. There we go. Go ahead and install your portable Meteostation. And there you have it. That is going to complete Iron Confidence. So, hope you guys enjoyed this guide. Let me know what you think. And I'll see you in the wilds. Bye-bye.